Hi, I'm James, a Senior Product Manager here at Overmind, and in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to walk you through how Overmind can help you avoid your next production outage. If you haven't heard of Overmind before, we simulate infrastructure changes against your live environment data in CI before deployment. We show you the blast radius, risks, and expected impacts to help you prevent outages. Now, you might be thinking, isn't that just what Terraform Plan does? Not quite. Terraform Plan only shows you what will change in your defined resources. Overmind goes beyond that by mapping all hidden dependencies, simulating the change using AI-powered analysis to discover any risks, and showing the complete blast radius across your entire infrastructure, including resources not even in your Terraform code, whether they were created through ClickOps in the console, CloudFormation, or any other method. Our goal is to make Overmind as straightforward as possible to get started with. It's a 5-minute setup, and we require no workflow changes. You connect your AWS, GCP, or Azure with read-only access. We always follow the principle of least privilege, and we are fully SOC 2 and ISO 27001 compliant. You can then integrate with GitHub, Atlantis, M0, Azure DevOps, or any other CI system with our CLI, and you're analyzing changes immediately. Overmind plugs directly into your existing CI/CD pipeline. Your team keeps working exactly as they do today, but now they get actionable intelligence on every change. So let me show you what this looks like in practice. Alright, so let's look at a real scenario that happens all the time. Your finance team just renewed a massive AWS savings plan for T3 instances to cut costs. Great news, right? So now platform engineering has issued a new standard. All instances should use the T3 family to maximize those savings. Your compliance dashboard flags this API server running on a C5 large as non-compliant. It's a routine change, same specs, 2 vCPUs, 4 GB RAM, just switching from C5 to T3. The ticket even says, standard change, no cab approval required. You've done 100 of these migrations before, so you open the editor, change the instance type from C5 large to T3 large, commit it, and push. Easy win for compliance, right? Let's see what Overmind thinks. So now let's look at what Overmind is doing behind the scenes. When I created that pull request, Overmind automatically created this change and started analyzing it. The first thing that happens is resource mapping. Our CLI parses your Terraform plan locally, strips out any sensitive values, so credentials, secrets, those sorts of things never leave your environment, and sends just the list of resources being changed to Overmind as a starting point. Then it calculated the blast radius. This took about a minute and a half, and it discovered 230 items with 566 connections between them. That's way more than just the one instance we're changing. Let's look at the blast radius graph. Here's our API server instance that we're changing. If I click on it, you can see the actual diff. We're going from instance type C5 large to instance type T3 large. Looks simple enough. Now we're seeing the specific resources downstream that could feasibly be impacted by changing this instance. Here's the application load balancer, the target groups, CloudWatch alarms, security groups, the real infrastructure that depends on this instance functioning properly. And this is critical. We're not pulling this from some stale CMDB or cached database. Overmind went out and queried your live AWS APIs in real time to discover these specific dependencies. This is the most up-to-date information available. If someone created a new dependency in the console 5 minutes ago, we'll find it. We're not scanning your entire AWS account. We're intelligently traversing only the dependency graph from your changed resources outward. These aren't just resources defined in our Terraform code. This ECS task definition, this Lambda function that calls our API, none of this is in our Terraform, but it would all be affected if this instance goes down. That's the power of real-time discovery. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Let's go back to the change page and look at the risk Overmind identified. This is a high-risk finding. Let me walk you through what Overmind caught. First, it's flagging that we're switching from C5 large to T3 large with standard CPU credits. Now here's the critical part. Overmind pulled real CloudWatch metrics from our running instance and found it's averaging 70% CPU utilization. That's actual production data gathered during the blast radius analysis. Second, it's connecting this to the instance's role in our infrastructure. It's serving traffic behind this application load balancer target group. The target group has a 5-second health check timeout. Third, and this is where Overmind shows its intelligence, it's predicting what will happen. On a T3 large in standard mode, sustained 70% CPU usage will exhaust the CPU credits. When that happens, performance throttles below current demand, request handling slows down, health checks start timing out after 5 seconds, and the ALB marks the instance unhealthy and removes it from service. That's a production outage. Using our auto-approval GitHub action, this high-risk finding could automatically block your CI/CD pipeline. Instead of this change sailing through because it's marked as a standard change, Overmind would stop it at the gate and require human review. That's the difference between preventing an outage and explaining one in a post-mortem. So that's Overmind, catching the hidden risks that Terraform plan misses, showing you the real blast radius of your changes, and giving you the intelligence to prevent outages before they happen. The best part? You can try Overmind completely free, forever, on one repository. No credit card required, no time limits, just full feature access to see how it works with your infrastructure. Head over to overmind.tech to get started, or check out our documentation to learn more about integrating Overmind into your workflow. Thanks for watching, and here's to fewer post-mortems and more confident deployments.